Welcome to this session of Building the Future with Microsoft. I'm delighted today to have you with us to walk you through a very great session we've prepared for you on how to leverage Azure with confidence in a data-driven way, and both for migration and operations. In today's session, I will be seconded with Noon and Stuart. So myself, I'm leading the Azure business for Avanade in Europe. Noon is my equivalent in the Portugal, and Stuart is leading our Center of Excellence in Europe, which is really a combination of our top assets, skills, and accelerators. A little bit about Avanade to start with. So we are a global company that is dedicated on the Microsoft platform. 39,000 people that are delivering for our clients and building innovative solutions for them. So really present in 80 locations around 25 countries. And what we are also very proud of is the fact that we are able to combine the breadth of our services to walk our clients through the whole cloud journey, right? And typically that goes from emerging technologies, innovation studios, advisories, obviously delivering the technical solutions, and also outsourcing through our managed services line. So I think this is really very key to start with, because today in this session, we want to focus on one stage that you reach when entering into an Azure journey. So typically a cloud journey is something that will very likely start with a migrate state. Then you will have, once you have some workload in the cloud, the need for optimizing whatever you are ready to optimize. And when your maturity as a client has reached an even better level, then you are able to really create and unleash complete new business scenarios and transform the way you enter your business thanks to the cloud. If I deep down a little bit more on those stages into what does it mean for a technical person to actually walk a client through those three steps. Well, on the migration, we are really talking about rapid time to market in terms of bringing workloads into Azure, right? Really being able to set the right landing zone, being able to set the right migration path, understand quickly the current state and the quick wins that can be achieved, and really tap into a result that must have some also cost savings after executing this migration. So Horizon 1 is about this. Horizon 2 is now you're in the cloud, but are you still operating your IT the way you used to do? Are you still having long processes to provision a new VM, for example, and it still takes a month to provision a new VM, whereas the cloud can provision this for you in minutes, right? So there is a need to change the way you operate, to change the way you start leveraging some of the basic, cloud functions that Azure typically serves. And I talked about VM provisioning, but we can also mention DevOps, which is really a new way to bring business and IT together, leverage Azure development pipelines, and really make sure that you are in a new loop into reducing the time to market for any new function, any new feature that the business might want. And that's really about starting optimizing what you have by leveraging the cloud and going faster. Horizon 3, it's much more about creation, and that's not because you have some VMs in the cloud that you can already tap into the whole innovation that Microsoft is putting in your hands, right? With IoT, for example. How do you enter into this world of data and analytics that Microsoft is providing you with? So In order to do this, to leverage those new scenarios, I did not mention AI, but this is another good one. You also need to go a little bit beyond that just being in the cloud and operating in a new way. You need to be able also to start having cloud native apps, to start really understanding your portfolio, whether it's SaaS, PaaS, IaaS still, and really being able to then enter into a new creation loop with your business on unlocking those values and tapping into the Microsoft innovation budget. Today's session, we started with this. It's about optimization. So let's focus a little bit on Horizon 2, and let's understand with our team how we can, once in the Azure estate, how we can really maximize the use of it and specifically monitor our costs. Nuno, back to you.
Okay, thank you. And so, from our experience in our clients, we already, as Eric was saying, we help a lot of the clients doing this journey to the cloud in the Horizon 1, and we came across with some challenge after we are in the cloud and after we did a bunch of migrations, that basically are the clients coming to us saying that, well, yeah, it's good, we are very happy with the cloud, but somehow we have new challenge, you know, and those new challenge can you know, set up a wrong expectation on the client. So we are now working with the clients on these pain points, and from our experience, this is the most impacting ones that you are seeing now in the PowerPoint presentation. And basically, it's the lack of understanding the huge service catalog that a public cloud provider can have. Because it can have different tiers, it can have different prices on each tier. You have different models of service in the cloud, like infrastructure as a service, software as a service, platform as a service. This can be very complex when you are doing this move from traditional on-premises environment and management to the cloud. So meaning that when you enter in the cloud world, it can be a little confused, and it can, you know, raise some questions regarding the business case that you probably did before you went to the cloud, and the results that you are having now that you are in the cloud. So this is one of the pain points that we are working with our clients in order to manage them. And that's why Eric was mentioned that you need to go these through phases, because if not, you can have, you know, a little disappointment on using the cloud services. The billing is also a thing that our clients normally can have a little more difficulties on understanding, because it's a little difficult when you receive an invoice of the cloud provider. That can be very complex, because you are changing from one traditional way that you are normally used to. You know, you buy the hardware and you will pay it for 5 years and that's it. Now you have different complex models that is like pay-per-use models. You pay by the hour. You need to be aware of that, and that will be, of course, reflecting your billing. So you need to somehow understand and see that this is very complex, and you need to be prepared for this. Okay. Also, sometimes you have the idea that your consumption in cloud is unlimited. So you know, it's just doing some clicks. You are doing some clicks in the cloud. You are deploying services. You are using servers. You are using database as a service, you are using a bunch of service that you have now available for you, and you are not thinking about the impact that this will have on your costs and your real need for those services. Okay. Also, this one other pain point that we encounter in our clients in these journeys is that some shadow IT is starting to appear, because you if you don't have the in place governance in the cloud, you will have uh, departments that are not IT, with the right permissions, doing the provisioning of the service that cloud can provide them, and in a very quick way, you will have a bunch of infrastructure and applications that you don't control, and you will need to pay for it. So it's also a thing that that is also a pain point that affects the business, and that affects also the cloud clients perception of using the cloud. And we are helping them on, and as I was saying, that is the real dangerous that we have here, is that the expectation of a client that had in the beginning of doing this journey to the cloud, it's not the reality of the actual costs, and this is not a good thing for a person that, or a client that wants to be in this new world, doing this digital transformation that we help them, because this can be a blocker on when you are doing this journey, and because it can stop a migration, it can stop uh, projects that are in place to modernize your data center that is a little legacy and things like that. And so this should be a thing that you should be thinking from the beginning. And lessons learned that we have, we already are working here in Portugal with several clients on applying a methodology focus on this optimization in order to help our clients be prepared for this new paradigm that we have when we are going to a journey of adoption of cloud. Okay, how can we provide this? And this basically what we are trying to build in our clients with our knowledge, with our assets that we have. It's a confidence for them, that when they are going to the cloud, or if they are already there, they can have a clearly understanding of what they are consuming, what they need to consume, and what will be possibility alternatives of what they need to transform. So this is very important, and this is a very interesting part of the journey to the cloud, because it brings, as Eric said, the confidence based on our experiences, based on real data. We can help our clients doing this move to the cloud, or this optimization in workloads that already exist in Azure cloud. Okay, how do we do this? How do we build this confidence in the cloud? Basically, we divide our approach in three parts. One of them, it's the information part, and where we basically we deliver to our clients the capability of having the visibility of everything regarding the consumption, regarding the costs, regarding if they are aware of all the infrastructure that they are using and applications that they are using. Okay, and this needs to be integrated, of course, with a very governance model already in place, or that we help them put in place, because as Eric was mentioned previously, um, the same way that you manage on-premises traditional data centers, it's not the same way that we manage cloud. So you need to adapt. You need to adapt not only the part of technology, you need to adapt also the part of the governance and the process that is behind, and also a little of the culture of the people that are managing the cloud systems. Okay. Then we also focus a lot on Optimise. Optimization is also having our clients and Microsoft clients using what they need to use and pay for what they really need to pay. And that's bring us, of course, the visibility of the clients that are happy for using Microsoft Azure Cloud, because if they are paying for what they use, they will be happier than if they are paying for one thing that they not are aware of it, if they are not know that this is a thing that we are using. So it's a win-win situation here. And also the part of operations and continuous improvement that, of course, we need to put in place some automation regarding the daily basis of all the resources. You need to be aware of that the pay-per-use model, it's not a thing that you can forget, so you can optimize costs with automation depending on the requirements of the workload. So you need to monitoring, you need to put in place some alerting regarding all these costs part and all of the governance. And so what we have did here is that we included this approach in the thing that Eric was mentioned as our approach inside of the cloud journey. So we did a lot of projects with our clients defining landing zones, defining cloud foundations, uh, defining architecture for moving from one on-premises to the cloud. And this, including on this approach, will be now the better way of be prepared when a client arrives to the cloud environment. Okay. Of course, this is a thing that we are leveraging not only our knowledge, not only our experience, that is from very good, but also the native products, the out-of-the-box things that Microsoft provide to us regarding governance, things like Power BI dashboards, and we, with our knowledge on top of that, we can, of course, leverage that. Regarding the optimization, of course, we use the capabilities natively from Azure portal with the cost and billing part. Regarding all the journey that I was talking about, we, of course, we have our methodology based on the CAF frame and the workshops, as well as the well architecture framework for our approach when designing architecture for the clients in this journey to the cloud process. Operating, of course, the part of Azure monitoring with the log parts, metrics parts, and everything itself. So our assets, I pass the word to Stuart that will give you a quick look on that.
Fantastic. Thanks, Noon. So just to recap on where Noon and Eric have covered, the operational governance model is exceedingly important to phase in but also to join everything together from the architecture all the way through to the operational side. So the first thing to do here is to understand the organization, create that visibility as part of the model, and then work with the business, work with processes and procedures in order to pull everything together and then implement this to build the framework and then move that towards an operationalized view longer term. So we see it a lot where people look at optimization as a one-off. Yes, you will see some benefits. Yes, you will see some optimization, but bad habits will return, unclear processes will return, and effectively roles keep degrading the performance over time. So what we propose and what we use and what we're using with our clients is very much a near real-time data-driven approach. And that, in conjunction with this operational governance model, controls that consumption and optimizes the use of Azure resources. So we have a defined framework. We have three main optimization levers, and with those, we give you clear direction, we give you clear understanding, and we give you the control back. Okay, now we have a very quick demo to try and give as part of this, as part of the visibility and control. And we have some specific intellectual property that Avanade has developed on top of a number of core Microsoft services and features and capability. I can't talk about that in too much detail. The demo is actually live from that in terms of the reporting side, but the rest of the tool is currently still under NDA. We do have a contact at the end if you wish to learn some more information about that. But effectively, it's all around optimizing the resources, creating that visibility and passing the control to yourselves, and then obviously this long-lasting governance. So if I quickly just layer on the kind of Microsoft pieces that align into this this graphic. So it's using those data-driven approaches. So IP from that Avanade has, but also industry expertise in conjunction with things like log analytics, Lighthouse, things like that. Exposing that data, as I've just said. So, but also then displaying that data that the business can consume it. So using Power BI and using some of the information within this tool, and then how we then take that as part of the process, pull everything together, operationalize it, scale it, and enable you to accelerate with confidence. Okay, so with that, I'm going to play this video quickly, and then I'll come back and finish that off. Hi, this is a demonstration of the tooling that is available within the Avanade bespoke tooling that we've been talking about or hinting about up until now. I can't unfortunately show you much more about this because it's still under NDA, but we wanted to try and show you some of the real-time or near real-time reporting that's available on some of the cost analysis that we've got across this hybrid environment. So just to call out a couple of key features here, I'm recording this on January the 10th, 2021, and as you can see here, I've got this filtered by months, and I can see the spend to date currently showing, and this is being displayed based on the way that our environment is set up. So it's showing based on SQL instances and log analytics where our costs are being proportioned, and if I hover over them, the data is available for me to interrogate and start seeing how this data is formed. I can also click on the timeline and I can start looking back through the historical information to see where costs are coming from, what's changed within the environment, and I can start looking back to understand what's going on. I can also look at this as a day-on-day trend, and I can start looking for either anomalies or when specific services have been turned on and therefore apportion costs appropriately. I'm also able to display this information in a number of different ways, so via the Azure meters, for example, via locations, so wherever within different regions that my subscriptions or machines are based, and also group these by either Azure tagging, or if I have multiple subscriptions, I can see the different elements of subscriptions, and they form in a very similar way to the other charts. For the purpose of this demo, this is just our lab subscription, and hence I'm just showing the continued increase in costs as we bring on more and more things into this environment. I'm also able to display this information a number of different ways, and this gives me the opportunity to present this information back to the business in a very clear, concise way, and apportion and show where either optimization changes or migrations are occurring from either on-premises into public cloud, and where those costs are appearing. I can also display this information in trees, which gives a very easy graphical representation of understanding where the biggest spends are. And all of this gives the business the opportunity to see where costs are, enables show back and charge back if need be. And I can very easily look for additional information, understand what's changing, what's being optimized, and how things are pulled together. Now, obviously, with this being under NDA, this is unfortunately where I have to stop this demo. I can't show you the information behind this, but obviously we do welcome any contact for people that wish to work with us on this under NDA. We do have a number of clients already on this solution who are helping us develop this as we go forward. So I'll now hand back to the other presenters. Thank you. So just to pick up from where that video is finished, we also have a number of other capabilities in order to deliver the information. This is a very quick view at one of our dashboards that we have, so a Power BI based dashboard to give the visibility, across the business, but also across to the IT teams as well. And then the ability for those of you who are more technical or interested in coding and things like that, this data-driven approach and the ability for you to manipulate that data is also available through tools like Power BI that's provided. And we're seeing this very regularly at the moment. We're seeing this optimization approach as maturity and time passes, and this is giving us some quite significant opportunities here, all the way through streamlining, through power on demand consumptions, through right sizing everything from a network and everything else, but also into optimization. So there's a number of kind of final points, pulling everything together. A couple of points to remember. So cloud foundations, Azure landing zones, and that ongoing governance model's key. We want to be able to support you and accelerate these migrations to Azure with confidence. So migrate what you want to migrate when you want to do that based on what the data is telling you, rather than what a consultant's necessarily telling you. Provide that monitoring and visibility, and then also take that overarching governance model to keep those costs under control and complete the optimization. So as I said in the demo, feel free to reach out. There's a number of contacts here, and there'll be some email addresses and other things, I'm sure, included in our biographies that should enable you to work with us moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.